working part of the vessel in the sense that it's where the fishing nets or the fishing gear is shot, which means we put it back over the side of the boat or over the back of the boat and hauled, which means it's brought back in, hopefully with a good catch on board. So the main points about here is that first of all the gear goes over the stern. It makes it easy for the boat to maneuver, the skipper to maneuver the boat in all types of weather. And these rollers help the nets go out without being caught and tearing the nets and hauled back and forward, same thing. And then the nets are brought and they're stored, as you can see, above our heads on what we call net drums, which are like big spools. And the nets are wrapped, these are hydraulically driven, and the nets will naturally wrap around the drums and store themselves very neatly and safely away. And there's 4 of these on the boat. Most of the time only 2 of them are used on most vessels, and they will haul and shoot 2 nets at a time, and that's what they call multi-rig or twin rig. The reason when they haul them and shoot the 2 nets, they need to have a counter, they need to balance the nets. We're going to do a separate program on separate video on a little bit more detail of this, but just for the moment, in each net, in each boat you will have what we call trawl doors. They used to be called afterboards in the old days. So you'll have one on the port side, which keeps the net open to the left or to the port. Same one on the starboard side, which is designed exactly reverse as a pair. And then in the middle you'll have what we call a roller. And this again is a sort of counterbalance that keeps the 2 nets balanced and there's the weight distribution equally spread over the 2 nets. So you will have the nets going out first, then you will have what you call bridles, which similar to our bridles on the horse, they will control the net and have a similar distance for the nets, so they're nice and easy spread and symmetrical, and they're on the bottom. And the secret of a net fishing well is to have the foot rope on the ground or on the seabed, and as much contact with the seabed so it can get the prawns and fish. Then from the doors and the middle weight up, you have the warp, and the warp is the heaviest of the wires on the boat. And this is just the end of the warp where it's an eye, and that will go up and through the various blocks and channels to what we call the winches. And the winches are the most powerful hydraulics on board a boat, and they take a lot of power and strain to haul the 2 nets, the weight, the bridles, and hopefully the catch back up to the ship. And we're going to see them again later, and we give you a little description of how they work and all that. But they are generally nowadays all hydraulically driven, although some boats have electric motors, but most of them are hydraulically driven. And then when the catch comes up, it's put into this big aluminium hopper over here, and the fish will be let into this hopper, and then we will hose the fish up on the conveyor belt, and we'll go inside in a minute now and have a look at how the fish is handled and graded. So that's the main workings of how the nets are shot and hauled back up on board most boats around the coast of Ireland.